Welcome to English Podcast. Subscribe our channel for more update.
Ever get that sensation, like you're in a huge forest maybe, and every tree looks the same, and you just haven't got the faintest clue which way to go?
Yeah, totally. That feeling of being completely directionless.
Exactly. And it seems to hit pretty much everyone, at some point, whether you're younger, just starting out, or maybe rethinking your career.
Or even later on, wondering what's next. It's universal.
Right. So today, we're going to dig into that feeling, that whole experience of being, lost in life.
Mm-hmm. And we've been looking at this really insightful chat between Emma and Jack.
On their English podcast for learning English.
That's the one. Yeah. They had some really good perspectives on this feeling, actually. Surprisingly nuanced.
They really did. So our goal here in this deep dive is to kind of go beyond just saying, yeah, I feel lost, and actually pull out some key ideas from what they talked about.
Like building a bit of a map for that internal forest you mentioned.
Exactly. Sort of offering you, the listener, a clearer picture of what it means to feel lost and maybe how to start navigating it.
Sounds good.
So let's start right there. What does it actually mean to feel lost? What was Emma's take on defining it?
Well, Emma put it as a basic uncertainty. Not knowing which way to turn, feeling confused, maybe unsure, or even just stuck.
Stuck, yeah.
And Jack really pointed out how common this is. Especially, he mentioned in your 20s and 30s, so many people saying things like, I just don't know what I want, or
who even am I? That sort of thing.
Exactly that. It really taps into this widespread sort of existential question mark.
It really does. And Emma talking about her own experience, after university, that really hit home for me.
Oh, yeah. What part?
Just that expectation she had, like bang, straight into the dream job. And when it didn't happen like that,
it just felt like a failure. Yeah.
Right. And I think that gap, between what we expect and what actually happens, that's a huge trigger for feeling lost for so many of us.
Absolutely. It's that expectation versus reality clash. And, thinking about Jack's point here, these feelings, as uncomfortable as they are.
Definitely uncomfortable.
Right. But they can actually be useful signals. If you pay attention, they're sort of nudging you, suggesting maybe something's not quite aligned.
Like your current path isn't matching your deeper needs.
Precisely. So the discomfort, it can actually be the push you need to find something different. But you have to, engage with it first.
Which brings us to, how do we even talk about this stuff if we're not clear on the words?
Good point. Yeah, the language matters.
So maybe before we dive into the why and the what to do, let's just quickly nail down some terms Emma and Jack used, like feeling stuck. What do they mean by that?
Jack's definition was pretty straightforward. It's just feeling like you're not making progress, not moving forward.
That sense of being bogged down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stagnation. You can't seem to get any momentum going.
Okay. And then finding direction. That's kind of the opposite, isn't it? The goal.
Pretty much. Emma explained it as figuring out what you want to do, discovering your goals, finding a path that feels right, moving from drifting to, having a purpose.
Even if that purpose changes later.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not set in stone. It's about having a direction.
Got it. And the last one, self-discovery. Jack talked about this. How does that fit in?
Yeah, Jack saw self-discovery as this ongoing process. Learning about yourself, your values, what you're good at, what you actually dream about.
Because it's foundational.
Totally. If you think about feeling lost, how can you possibly figure out where to go if you don't understand your own sort of internal compass?
Right. You need to know yourself to know your direction. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we've got the terms, but why? Why do so many people feel this way? What did Emma and Jack see as the main reasons?
Well, one thing Jack brought up straight away was comparison, especially amplified by social media.
Oh, yeah. That's huge.
This is it. You see these curated, perfect looking lives online, and it just makes it so easy to feel like you're falling behind or doing something wrong by comparison.
It's like this constant pressure, this external gaze judging you. And Emma also mentioned those other pressures, right? From society, family.
Definitely. That sort of expected path, school, job, marriage, the drill.
The checklist.
The checklist.
Yeah.
And if you step off that timeline or maybe take a detour, and I said it can make you feel like you're wrong.
Even if that path isn't right for you.
Especially then. Yeah, that creates this internal conflict, doesn't it? When what you want doesn't match what's, expected.
And Jack hit on something really key there too. What happens when you are on a path, but it's one someone else wanted for you, not your own choice?
He suggested that even if you look successful on the outside, you'll eventually feel that emptiness, that sense of being lost, because it's not authentically yours.
That's deep.
It is. And Emma pointed out, just realizing that misalignment and then finding the guts to actually change things, that takes serious courage.
Yeah, it's not easy to step off a path once you're on it, even if it's making you miserable.
It really isn't. It often means disrupting things.
It helps hearing real stories, though. Just Jack shared one about his friend in finance for ages.
Oh, yeah, the finance friend. 10 years making good money, but feeling totally empty inside.
So what happened? Did he just stick with it?
No, and that's the interesting part. He actually stepped away, took a break, did some traveling, some thinking, and ended up becoming a teacher. Completely different field. Found real passion there.
Wow, that's amazing. It shows it's never too late, right?
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that big shifts are possible, and fulfillment can pop up where you least expect it.
And Emma had a similar example, didn't she? A student.
Yeah, someone studying engineering because, parents wanted it, but they were miserable.
So what did they do?
Found their real joy in photography, became a freelance photographer, and apparently felt much more fulfilled.
Again, it's about lining things up with your actual passion.
These stories, they really show that career paths aren't fixed. And for you listening, it emphasizes, I think, that you do have agency. You can shape your direction towards something that feels more authentic.
Okay, so let's say you are feeling this way. You're in that forest feeling lost. What can you actually do? Emma and Jack had some practical tips. What was the first one?
Emma's first suggestion was pretty simple, but really important. Talk to someone.
Just talk.
Yeah. A friend, family, maybe a therapist. Jack added that just saying the feelings out loud, verbalizing them, it can bring out a clarity.
Right, taking it out of your head and making it concrete somehow.
Exactly. It makes it less overwhelming, more manageable.
That makes sense. Okay, what was tip number 2?
Emma suggested journaling, writing things down regularly.
Like a diary.
Sort of, yeah. But specifically focusing on your thoughts, your feelings. She mentioned noting what makes you happy, what activities energize you versus what drains you.
So it's a tool for self-reflection, to spot patterns.
Precisely. You start seeing what genuinely resonates with you, what your core values might be.
Okay. And Jack's tip was a bit more active, wasn't it?
Yeah, his was about trying new things. Get out there, take a class, volunteer somewhere, travel if you can, just explore different hobbies.
Why? What does that do?
Well, the idea is that new experiences can expose you to stuff you never would have considered. Unexpected opportunities, maybe hidden talents or passions you didn't know you have.
Opens new doors, basically.
Opens new doors, yeah.
Yeah.
Shakes things up a bit.
And Emma also mentioned something crucial about being kind to yourself through all this.
Yes. Self-compassion, super important. She stressed just accepting that it's okay not to have it all figured out right now.
It's okay to be uncertain.
Exactly. Giving yourself permission and time and space to explore without beating yourself up over it. Less judgment, more patience.
That feels really vital. It's easy to get down on yourself when you feel lost.
Totally. That self-criticism just makes it harder.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, what were the main things Emma and Jack wanted people to take away? The big picture.
I think Jack's final thought was really comforting. He basically said, look, it is absolutely okay to feel lost. Life isn't some straight line.
It's messy.
It's messy, full of detours, unexpected turns, and these periods of feeling lost. They're part of growth.
And Emma's perspective was quite empowering too, wasn't it? That feeling lost could actually be the start of finding something better.
Right. Like it means you're questioning things, you're thinking, you're growing. It's not just a negative thing. It could be an engine for positive change.
A sign that you're engaged with your life.
Exactly. And the absolute core message from both of them, I think, was solidarity.
You're not alone.
You are definitely not alone in feeling this way.
Yeah.
Such a common human thing. We're kind of all navigating these uncertainties together in a way.
Yeah. So for you listening, maybe a final thought to chew on. Building on that listener challenge idea Emma and Jack had. Maybe not something you share, but just for yourself. Think back to a time you felt lost. What did you actually maybe subtly learn from it, even if it wasn't obvious then?
Like a private reflection.
Yeah. Just noticing your own resilience, your own growth. There's real value in looking back at those feelings sometimes. You might find some surprising insights.
That's a great exercise.
And just remember that message from Emma and Jack.
Yeah.
Right?
You're not lost forever.